I don't think I'm betraying any secrets when I probably think Kemi is the favourite at the moment, but that doesn't
Is she your
necessarily mean
favourite?
she'll ride off with the crown. No, I'm saying she is the favourite.
A breaking story tonight from The Times' political editor Stephen Swinford. The Tory leadership contest, Stephen reports, is expected to last for nearly 4 months, with Rishi Sunak's successor set to be confirmed on the 2nd of November. Sir Charles Walker is a former vice chairman of the 1922 committee, that, of course, the committee of backbench MPs who decides what the rules are for each leadership contest. Sir Charles joins us now. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
This seems like a pretty long contest, quite convoluted, lots of different stages. Can the party afford it?
Well, it's not 4 months, is it? It's nearer 3 months, first of all, November the 2nd, so it will still be concluded before the US presidential election. I think it's a reasonable compromise. Some colleagues wanted it to run later into November, December, possibly. It means that polling will probably start at the end of the party conference on the 2nd of October. I mean, I'm not privy to the detail of this. Obviously, I'm not on the 22 anymore, but our conference is from the 29th to the 2nd of October. And if the winner is going to be declared on the 2nd of November, as you say, then that would give the best part of 28, 29 days after the conference for the ballot papers to be distributed, filled in and returned.
OK, so timing-wise, you think it works. What about the different stages? So as we understand it, each person who wants to go up for it needs 12 supporting colleagues, so 12 MPs to back them. And there can be as many as 8 candidates. Parliament then breaks up for summer. They each do their own summer tour of Tory membership, different constituencies, different associations, presumably. Then there are different rounds of voting by MP. So first week of September, you'll see... I've written here, and I need to double check my notes, but up to 4 rounds of voting by MPs to get to 4 candidates in place, chosen by MPs by party conference. Then party conference, each of those 4 candidates, or up to 4 candidates, gets to make their pitch. And then that is whittled down to 2 after conference, and then the final 2 the membership are then able to vote on. It's quite long and confusing. And one thing that would concern me if I was a Tory MP or involved with the party is just how much chatter there's going to be about this during the summer. Is that a good thing for the party or a bad thing?
Well, look, there's always going to be chatter. We're electing a new leader after a fairly devastating or completely devastating defeat. So I think it's reasonable to set an expectation that if you're going to put your name forward to be a future leader of the Conservative Party, you have to have at least 10% of the party supporting you, including yourself. I mean, look, these things are never easy, but actually I think it's fairly straightforward. I mean, it's a pretty small electorate until you get to the point where you have the final 2 that go towards the membership.
And is that fair on the membership, do you think, Sir Charles, to have, 120 odd MPs deciding the fate of...
Well, you're probably asking the wrong member of Parliament, because I made myself very unpopular in my final years by suggesting that the membership should really not have anything to do with selecting the party leader. Personally, I would like to see the party leader chosen by parliamentarians.
But even if there's only 120 of them?
Even if there's only 120 of them, but clearly it's still going to go to the membership, and the membership, it looks like what you're telling me, will pick from the final 2 as happened last time.
And that concerns you?
Well, I mean, look, I personally think that the people who are in the best position to pick the leader of the Conservative Party are members of Parliament. They work with that person daily. I suspect that if that had happened, we wouldn't have had the very short premiership of Liz Truss.
Yeah, interesting. OK. And what do you think about the fact that the final 4, or the interim 4, however you want to term them, when it gets down to 4, they are going to be going to party conference, and the membership can attend party conference. They can get a good look at them. The only problem is they're going to get a good look at 4 candidates. They might quite like one of them, but there's no guarantee that one will remain and be part of the final 2, which sort of feels to me like a bit of a waste of time.
Well, look, so party conferences is a chance for people to set out their stall. One of the criticisms of the previous leadership election, or actually no, 3 leadership elections ago now, when it was Boris Johnson against Jeremy Hunt, is that the ballot papers were being sent out to members while the hustings were still going on. And that caused concern, particularly in Jeremy Hunt's camp, because he was he was coming from the back of the field and he wanted the chance to make his case. And he felt that these public hustings were an opportunity for him to do that. But if the ballot papers were being distributed before he had a chance to talk to as many members as he wanted to, that was an unfair advantage to Boris Johnson. So look, there is no perfect system. But I think if those 4 go to conference, they set out their stall. Members of Parliament will be at conference as well. They will listen to what's being said. They will gauge the reaction from the membership, and that will have some influence on how members of Parliament vote.
You are not an MP, but I presume you're a Conservative Party member?
I am still a Conservative Party member, yes.
So those members that you were sort of criticising and saying shouldn't have a say means that, well, this process means that you will have a say in this, Sir Charles Walker. Give me one name that should be part of the final 8.
Well, so, I can give you lots of names. I can give you Tom Tugendhat. I can give you James Cleverly. I can give you Priti Patel. There's Kemi Badenoch. So those would be 4 that would trip off my tongue pretty easily. I'm sure there will be others who will give it a shot. Even if they don't think they've got a realistic expectation of winning it, it might be seen as a way of raising their profile. So, but those would be the 4 I would suggest probably are the front runners. But look,
who would you like to see in the final 2?
That's for my colleagues to decide. I'm entirely. Look, I'm a member now, so although I'd like to disenfranchise myself from this vote, I will wait to see who is put before me. I don't think I'm betraying any secrets when I probably think Kemi is the favourite at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily
mean she your favourite?
She'll ride off with the crown. No, I'm saying she is the favourite. Okay. I haven't got a favourite.
All right.
I would like to see. I'd like to see what people have to say. I'm fond of all those 4 people. I've served with them for many years. And I was going to say it's not a binary choice, but it is a binary choice at the end of the day, isn't it? Because it will be one or other. But,
it will be one or other.
I hope my colleagues recognise that. They will recognise what a patronising thing for me to say that there's a really solemn duty on their heads to put forward 2 really sensible people towards the membership. I don't want to see us drift off into UKIP land with the Conservative Party. It's not even UKIP anymore, is it? It's Reform. Sorry, I don't want to see us drift off into Reform land.
No, okay.
We are the Conservative Party. So I quite like to see 2 Conservatives in the final 2, not perhaps someone who's conflicted as to where their loyalties actually lie.
Okay.
And you can read into that what you want.
Insert brackets, Suella Braverman.
You can read into that
very finally, because you've joined us last minute, which is kind of you. Thank you. Rishi Sunak, we're not clear what this means for Rishi Sunak. We'd got the impression that he didn't want to, hang around until November. Should he hang around, or is it okay for him to say at the end of the summer, stepping away from the leadership role now, guys, and let's have an interim leader?
Can I sound like a real talking head and say that's a great question, because I was thinking about that before I came on. So realistically, I think there's 2 more PMQs before the House rises. Then you have a summer recess. Then you come back in September for a short amount of time. Then you go away for conference, and then you come back in October, early October, second week of October. There's probably about 8 more PMQs that Rishi Sunak has to do. And I think that's the real issue. Does Rishi, the leader of our party, feel that he can do 8 more Prime Minister's question times as leader of the opposition? So it's not so much about the days, it's about how many times he wants to stand up at the dispatch box and face the Prime Minister across the chamber.
They're like the best of buddies now, though. Surely he shouldn't feel intimidated by that. It's a very bro atmosphere.
look, as William Hague said, being leader of the opposition is the worst job in the world, and each day it gets worse. So Keir Starmer will feel a great weight lifted off his shoulders now he's Prime Minister, although there are different weights pressing down. And as for Rishi Sunak, I think he did an amazing job for 18 months in almost impossible conditions. I know he feels the loss really bitterly, but actually, I think he might be might be feeling a bit happier about life slowly as he drifts away from the July 4th, July 5th results.
Look, thank you so much for being with us. Sir Charles Walker, former Vice Chair of the 1922 Committee. Thanks for your time.